wonder what they were thinking. What on earth would you think? When you walk around the backside of the house and see an orange extension cord coming out of the ground, a piece of PVC with no top on it, orange extension cord, and then plugged into a wall outlet on the side of the house, you gotta wonder what's going on. Okay, now how many things wrong with that? What's a freaking extension cord? You know, that's not right. The PVC is not weatherproof. It's a rain trough. The wall outlet's not a NEMA weatherproof enclosure. It's right on the side of the house, underneath the eave, but still, you know, do we have horizontal rain in this country or what, or this state? Exactly. And that was the first time I saw that. My wife bought the house, and I saw it, but it was already paid for, already bought. And I'm walking around the house, it truly was a nice house, great neighborhood, no complaints whatsoever. But I got to that point and said, the extension cord coming out of the ground. Any explanation? Oh, something to do with the septic tank. I'm like, oh God. And you just ignore that because you don't want to know. You don't want to ask. And what it was, well, the west side of town's full of clay soils. Do we drain in clay soils? Does our septic tank work in clay soils? No, it's a wash. And then you have that age in your kids when they think a half-hour shower is a good thing, and eventually the bathrooms back up. Or 1998, an El Nino, was it El Nino year, 1998, when we had record-breaking rains in February. The record was shattered by almost double the rainfall. And then you find your bathtub with 2 inches of water in the bottom. It's not water. It's not water. So again, all these things tie together. Circuits, how you control your house, how you repair it, how you design it, and how you deal with some of the things that come up over time. So, I think we went over that page. And let's see. Where do I want to go on that? Let's see. So for example, if you wanted to do branch, what is this, example 6.1, what if we needed 70 outlets in a house? 70 outlets, are you kidding me? Who would need 70 outlets in a house? Well, go on back home or a big house, if you're renting a house with 4 other people, count up all the outlets. You know, I did that with light bulbs once. Count every single light bulb in your house. 54 separate bulbs in my house. Didn't count the ambiance lighting outside, which does no longer work because it buried in the leaves over the years. But how many outlets, what kind of circuits do we have? Amperage circuits for general lighting and the convenience. What's the amperage?
15.
Or?
20.
Right, 15 or 20. So we have 15 amps. That's a little older. I don't think you would see that anymore from new design. So we're in a transition phase, we're going 20 amps. Now guess what? Put more and more energy efficient lighting on, we'll probably go back to 15 amps. Because you think, well, I don't want to undersize it. Do I want to undersize it? I want to leave it at 20 even if I use a lot less, right? Why do you have a circuit breaker?
Little pop at the cross.
Yeah, it's for safety. And so if you have a load of only 1 amp on it, you know, how do you know when you have a problem? It'll never see it. You could actually cause a fire and never pop the breaker. I mean, you don't know these things. So you really want the breaker to be sized at least somewhat nominally close to what you're using it for. So as things get more energy efficient, we're going to probably resize these wiring diagrams yet again. But typically for right now, we're in the 20 amp range for circuits. But if I need 70 outlets, let's see. We have a rule of thumb for that. If they're 15 amp circuits, how many outlets can I put on a 15 amp circuit? Well, let's see. 15 amp was 15 amps. What did we say we want to load up our circuit to? What value? 80%. 0.8 is equal to 12 amps. And then what do we have? 1.5 amps, was it? Yeah. 1.5 gives us 8 outlets. And those are notes in the chapter, and also we presented the last time. So we end up with 8 outlets per 15 amp circuit. 8 outlets for that one. So if I needed 70, what do we got? 70 divided by 8 is equal to 8.75. Okay, I can't do 8.75 circuits. And electrical, actually the next one up will work for this one. Right, but I like your thinking, okay? 9 circuits for that. So we end up with 9 breakers, just for convenience and general lighting. Now, if I want to make 20 amp circuits, okay, so I end up with 20 amps times 0.8 is equal to 16 amps, 1.5 amps per outlet, and that ends up with 10 point, what is that? 10.6. Okay, now this is where you go the other way. I think it's about 10.6. I don't have that note right here. I just skipped a step. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. So 10.6 circuits. So instead of, I don't want to go to 11, I go to 10. So 10 circuits. Why did I do it that way? I got to think about that.
10 outlets.
Yes, right. Exactly. Dang, somebody's thinking here. Now, where'd they put my eraser? They stole my eraser. No, it's over here. Because you know what happens is I go over here and rub it off my finger and then rub my forehead, and then 3 hours later, one of you guys will tell me, hey, do you know you rubbed your, you know? Right. 10 outlets. So, if I got 10 outlets here, I can outlets per circuit. Okay, here's where we're going with that. If I want 70 outlets, and I put them all in 15 amp circuits, I end up with, not here, but this one. I do 15 amp circuits. 70 divided by 9 gives me, oh shoot, I already did that, right?
Yeah, you just wrote the wrong thing.
Yeah.
9 breakers, there you go.
God, get me to thinking here.
Sure you didn't take spring break?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I work every day. But you guys are telling me I should have taken spring break. Yeah, I'll get this eventually.
Should
You know,
9 breakers?
Yeah, 9 breakers.
9 breakers here.
There you go.
Yeah. Right. And then 10 outlets divided by 70 will be 70 divided by 10 is equal to 7 breakers. All right, there we go. Eventually, we'll get there. So, and you can mix them up. You know, you could say I'm going to have 3 15 amp breakers and so many 20 amp breakers. Here, you probably go mostly with 20 amp breakers now. But it's just a way of doing this. Now, another thing they'll do is they'll do it on a per square foot basis. They'll actually say, we're going to have so many volt amps per square foot, and I'll size the general lighting for that.
So why are you able to round down to 10.6?
That's a breakerage, 16 amps, 1.5 amps per outlet. If I round up, I'm actually saying I can handle per outlet. This gives me 10.6 outlets. Yeah, if I round up, that's in effect putting more load on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I round down to put less load on that.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Keep it at 80%?
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the outlets you round down and the breakers you round up.
Right, because more breakers would give you less load per breaker. Right. When in doubt, make sure that it always goes to decrease the load on your line. And then by the time you go through all the National Electric Code requirements for derating, that's why you work very closely with the mechanical and electrical people, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, MEP, to make sure that things are sized correctly. So these are the kind of ways you go through. Watch me, I'm getting my pages out of order. Holy cow. So, this is how you end up with your house. Somewhere in your book, you also have a rating on a per square foot basis or per square meter basis. And you'll see that in commercial buildings, although the older their source book gets on that, the more incorrect you're being. They'll load up and say, I've got 3 watts, 1.5 watts per square foot for general lighting in an office building. Well, if I put all fluorescents or all LEDs on there, it's going to be quite a bit less than that. And your electrical wiring will all be oversized. But somebody will come in and not put the savings together. For example, if I want to go in and put in double pane windows instead of single pane windows and put extra insulation in the attic, somebody will say, well, that costs more, I can't pay for that. Well, no, it doesn't. It costs any more. Well, yeah, it does. I can show you the prices. Well, yeah, but if you put double pane windows in, extra insulation in the attic, you can put a smaller air conditioner in. The smaller air conditioner actually costs less than the additional, or saves you more than the additional windows and insulation. So if you put all these things together, then what you might end up with here is I can correctly size all the circuits for my new lighting I'm putting in, put less of a lighting circuit in, save money there. It helps pay for the wiring, or the extra cost. What store is it I was just in? I always go into Publix. You want to see what's new going on with lighting or anything to do with electrical energy in a store, go into Publix. The newest store in town has the new T5 lights. These fluorescent light bulbs in this room are T8. Right, there you go. Hydroponic lighting expert right here. T8, the 8, T is tube, or linear tube. 8 is 1/8 of an inch. So a T8 is 1 inch in diameter. The old-fashioned T12s, that's 1.5 inches in diameter. Now, what happens is the light bulb itself stuck in your fixture. Here's your fixture, and you put 2 light bulbs in there.